Hello there Internet and welcome to Geeky and on this episode we are going to be unboxing the brand new Marvel Legends Apocalypse figure. Now this figure is slated to be released relatively soon to Amazon, but it is randomly showing up at your local Target or Walmart. I did happen to find mine at Target over the weekend and I canceled my Amazon pre-order because it was slated to be arriving in October, but I couldn't wait that long when it comes to certain impatient things. This is the packaging for the brand new Marvel Legends Apocalypse figure. So you can see it's got a nice little biography in different languages of who Apocalypse is. Now, Apocalypse is one pretty badass villain in the X-Men universe, and he does have a huge comic arc when it comes to who he is, how he does his thing, and so let's go ahead and get this Apocalypse open up. So this is considered a deluxe Marvel Legends figure, so it does come in the bigger packaging here, but it does have a lot of accessories. Now this is a re-release figure for Apocalypse. He was released earlier as a Build-A-Figure, so you had to collect about 6 or 7 figures to complete the set to build Apocalypse, but I jumped in the Marvel Legends game a little bit too late and was not able to get it, so now I have the new redecoed version, and I'm happy to have that. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the insert. It has a nice portrait of Apocalypse and his nice grim looking smug smile. But let's go ahead and talk about accessories first. The first one that I see that's pretty relatively out of the package is his cape. So we'll go ahead and put that on him, but it's a plastic, soft plastic mold, and it's got nice little drape effects there. So that's the cape, essentially. Let's talk about accessories first. Here we have a hand, closed fist. Here we have an alternate head sculpt. If we can get them out. Thankfully, these are not as snug as a DC McFarlane Multiverse figures. But here is a closed mouth Apocalypse head sculpt. Let's get a little bit more detail for that. So you can see very nice fine line work on this head sculpt here. Now this is probably my favorite accessory in the bunch. He does have the skull, which is reminiscent in what happened with the comics. Now, it has been a very long time since I read Age of Apocalypse, so I do not know anything of what happened. Now, I remember Legion was in there and everything, but if you guys do happen to know and recollect what happened in Age of Apocalypse, please go ahead and drop a comment below and tell us your favorite moment of what happened in that comic arc. But let's go ahead and get this guy out of the package here. This big bad villain, as we got Apocalypse. So, here is Apocalypse himself. Now this figure looks a lot better out of the packaging, as most figures do. So first and foremost, we will go ahead and get the height on him. He stands at around a little under 8 inches, which is pretty significant for a deluxe figure. But you can talk about articulation right now. So he's got swivel, ball joint at the head. These are hard plastic shoulder guards, but he does have mobility on them for his shoulders to move around. So one thing I am noticing right off the bat is that there is a zip or a bungee tie right on his neck guard. So you can see the little bungee tie here. So we'll go ahead and get that piece out. So it just pops right out. And now that we got his head off, we'll go ahead and put that cape on him. So this was only for distribution purposes, so make sure nothing fall off or anything like that. So it looks like his cape does not need to have his head off for this, but we'll go ahead and put this piece back in. It looks like he's got 4 peg holes, and he's got the 2 peg holes right here for this little neck guard that he has here. So we'll go ahead and pop that back in. Looks very weird without the head. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the laughing grin face back on just because that one's got more detail on there. Alright, now that his head is back on, he is a little bit slippery. He's got that sheer metallic plastic, so had to take him off screen just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get the cape on him. He's got 2 pegs right here and 2 peg holes right there, which should just pop right in. Now for some reason my Apocalypse torso articulation is a little bit loose, but he does have ratchet joints right at the, or ratchet stops per se, at the torso, so he can go ahead and stop and not bend over. But let's go ahead and talk more about the articulation here. So he does have articulation at the waist, articulation at the hips and the legs, double knee joint, and he's got a swivel at the calf, and that's about as much mobility you'll get from the ankle itself. On the arms, he's got a swivel at the bicep, and he's got shoulder articulation, swivels, and bends. But luckily, these shoulder guards do not hinder any shoulder articulation, which is pretty good. So we already spoke about the accessories that come with Apocalypse, which is only an interchangeable hand, the interchangeable head, and the skull accessory. But if you happen to have one Marvel Legends figure, as I mentioned earlier in the video, it is one of his 4 horsemen, and that is Archangel. I'm going to do my best to get him to stand up, but his wings do not allow me to, so I'm just going to go ahead and put him back there. So when you do have Archangel, he does come with 4 additional heads. So let's just go ahead and get into a little review here on Archangel a little bit. So Archangel comes with 4 different heads. Right now I have the good version on Archangel, but you have a bald cap version of Archangel. You also have the golden, I believe he was, I'm not sure which horseman he was. Go ahead and drop a comment below and tell me which version of Angel or Archangel was Apocalypse's horseman character, I guess. And then here you also have the nice hair sculpt on the evil Archangel on that. But the reason why you'd want to get the Archangel figure is because he does come with the accessory for Apocalypse, which is his ratchet claw hand. Now, when I first bought this Archangel about, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, I said to myself, what is this figure accessory here? But it is for Apocalypse, and you'll go ahead and swap out his hand as the cape just flies right off. You'll go ahead and remove the gauntlet, and you'll go ahead and pop in the gauntlet right here, and then you got the accessory piece. So that is it, my friends. That is the review on this amazing Marvel Legends Deluxe Apocalypse figure. If you guys like the video, go ahead and click that like button. If you guys want to see something different, go ahead and drop a comment below. If you guys want to give me more insight on the Apocalypse character, because it's been some years since I've read the comic, go ahead and drop a comment below as well. And please, as always, do not forget to subscribe to Geeky, and until then, we will see you on the next video.